Yes, this is where the fun begins. This is where you can be an artist. This is where your handiwork is going to come into play. We've already scraped off the top layer of this glue, and that's the very important thing. There was mastic on here, there was floor tiles on here. There's the floor tiles. I pulled the tiles up, and I needed to saturate this first. I got some cleaner, and I used some cleaner here. You can use any kind of cleaner, simple green, orange cleaner. This was Energy Plus, it was called. And I sprayed that on there. I loosened up this. I took a razor scraper blade. You remember all that? If you haven't seen my channel, you haven't been watching, I used a scraper blade, and then I used a long handled scraper too to help me with this, because now this scraper blade is like a razor cutter, okay? And I use that to scrape off all the high edges on there. That's the most important thing you have to do, because if you don't do that, you can't get to this next step. Okay, this is going to be good, because you know what? I could almost, when I clean this off and wipe it off, I could almost seal this just the way it is. And I might even be thinking about that. And initially I was gonna, remember where all the nail holes were popped up like this from the tack strip? There was tack strip on here. See, they first had this tile, then they had tack strip, then they had carpet pad, then they had carpet, because they didn't like this nasty old tile, this vinyl tile on here from years ago. That's how they used to do it before they did carpet. Okay, so then when I pulled the tack strip up, all the nail heads, lots of them popped up the concrete. You see there? Here's some white bit from where they painted the baseboard, and they got some on the floor. Pity, pity. Now here's some other imperfections on the floor, and I was going to take some underlayment material, and here's the underlayment material I was going to use. I was going to use Henry's. This is Unipro, and it's called Universal Patch and Skimming. You just have, and skim coat, you have to learn how to read sideways, all right? Okay, there's my cleaner stuff. That was the concentrate. I put a little bit of that in my bottle and sprayed it on there. Okay, you ready for this? I'm gonna use this steel brush here and this sponge. You know what? Last time I did the floor, I kept rinsing that sponge out. Well, I'm not gonna do that this time. And I'll show you all that coming up. You ready for this? If you want to keep watching, stick around. Now, I wasn't going to make an introductory video of this next process, because this process was slightly different than what I did from before. But if you will remember, if you have been watching my videos, I also did this little hallway. I did this hallway here. I just scraped it, and I have to make the transformation on this still. I did this floor earlier, and I used little razor blade scrapers, and I wiped it off 100%. And see, now I can see the lines on here a little bit more visibly. Once I stain the floor, I might not like that as much. I mean, it'll still come out fine. Okay, but I'm gonna give you a few little tips along the way on how to clean this floor up and how to make this a little bit better. Okay, and see, this project has morphed into something quite large. Okay, see, I still have this room to do, and initially I was going to leave all the floor tile up, but the tile came up pretty easy, and it was a vinyl tile. It was not an asbestos type tile, and I kind of go over that on my videos as well. And so now I'm in here getting ready to tackle this floor, and I want you to watch this. You ready? Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. You gotta watch this next step. Let me tell you, I'm kind of excited about this.